This segment is presented to you by Termageddon.com. We're an auto-updating privacy policy generator, and we generated tens of thousands of privacy policies and read quite a few of them in the meantime as well. Before we move forward, I wanted to note that the information that we talk about today is presented for informational purposes only and should not be considered legal advice. If you are looking for legal advice, I'd recommend speaking to an attorney in your area. So first of all, why is it important to read the Reddit privacy policy? So really, it's important to read the privacy policy of any services that you sign up for because privacy policies affect your privacy and your rights. So they talk about what information is being collected from you, what is being done with that information, who it's being shared with, whether or not it's being sold, and what rights you actually have to control your own personal information too. And more we're seeing consumers take this into account when choosing whether or not to do business with a particular company or whether or not to use a particular platform. So first of all, what personal information does Reddit collect? So when you create an account, they'll collect your username, your password. If you do decide to input this information, they'll also collect your phone number, your interests, your communities that you're part of, your age, your bio, gender, location, profile picture, user account preferences, and settings. Some of this stuff is optional to provide. So for example, you could provide a automatically generated username instead of your actual name, or you may not want to upload a bio and you don't have to do that. It also collects information about the content that you submit. So whenever you make a post, any comments, if you upload any audio or video, any messages that you send to other people on Reddit, any reports, and then also your communications as well. It also collects information on the actions that you take on the platform. So for example, how you interact with content. So if you like a post, you comment on a post, you save a post, anything like that, and your interactions with others. So people that you message or, other people's posts that you like, things like that. Now, if you do pay for Reddit or purchase anything on Reddit, they'll also collect your transactional information. So like your name, address, email, phone number, and your blockchain address if you buy an NFT. Their payments are processed using Stripe, so Stripe will collect the actual billing information. If you participate in any activities or promotions, that will be collected as well. If you apply for a job, that information will be collected. Any messages that you send to support and anything that you input into any of the Reddit forms will be collected as well. There's also information that's collected automatically, like your log and usage data, so like your IP address, user agent string, the browser type that you're using, the operating system that you're using, your device information, the pages that you visited, the links that you clicked on, or the search terms that you used to find things that you're interested in. If you do decide to share it, Reddit will collect your location information as well. And then also Reddit obviously makes money through advertisements. So we'll collect your advertising data, like, what ads you clicked on, things that you bought through the ad, things like that. Any linked services. So great example here is if you log in with Google into your Reddit account, that is considered a linked service. So we'll collect information from there. And then also information from many integrations. And then lastly, demographics that are used and compiled for audience measurement too. Now, how does Reddit actually use your information? So it uses your information to provide the Reddit service, to personalize the content, services, and features that you see on Reddit, to help protect the safety of Reddit and their users. So for example, like prevent fraud or crimes, things like that. Provide, optimize, target, and measure ads. So again, ads is a big source of revenue for them. So obviously they will use your information for ads, but you can actually opt out of that use. And we'll talk about that a little later. They'll also use your information to research and develop new services, to send you technical notices, any updates, any security alerts. So for example, like your password was changed, any invoices if you do decide to purchase something, and then also to send you support messages if you do contact their support as well. And then also to provide customer service, and then to communicate about products, services, offers, promotions, and events. You can also opt out of this as well, which we'll talk about a little bit later. And then lastly, to monitor and analyze trends, usage, and activities. So they could use your information to say, 90% of Reddit users use Reddit after 6 p.m. or something like that. Now, does Reddit share information? Yes, it does. So it does share information with the public. So for example, when you make a post on Reddit, most of those posts are visible publicly, as well as your profile information may be listed publicly as well. Your linked services, so for example, like the Google sign-on, service providers, so that would include vendors, consultants, and then they also listed a few examples like payment processors, cloud providers, and third-party advertisers. Personally, I didn't like the fact that they listed just they listed 4 examples. It seems like a company like Reddit could just provide the category of each third party that they share personal information with, but I didn't see that there. They can also provide your information to law enforcement in response to subpoena. They can also provide your information in an emergency and then to enforce policies and rights, and then also share information with Reddit affiliates as well. Now, does Reddit sell your personal information? So Reddit's privacy policy says that they do not sell personal information. And then what privacy rights does Reddit provide? So you can access the information that they have about you, and then you can also change that information. So for example, you can change your name or your bio, anything like that. You can delete your account. You can control linked services access to your account. So again, if you're signing into your Reddit account via Google, you can disable that and then remove Google's access to your account. You do have the right to opt out of targeted ads and control your use of cookies. You can also control the use of advertising and analytics, and then opt out of promotional communication. So if you don't want to receive information about like products, services, events, things like that, you can opt out of that. You can control your mobile notifications. If you get a notification on your phone from Reddit, you can turn off those notifications. And then you can also control location information. So you can say, Reddit, don't collect my location information. Now, there's a couple areas where privacy rights can be exercised. So in your account, you can go to the safety and privacy section to exercise your rights. You can also go to the apps page in the account or in the account settings area or via email. Personally, I think this is a little bit confusing. There seems to be a lot of different places where you would need to go to exercise your rights. And kind of turn some of these things off. So I think maybe it could be collated into one place a little bit better, but that's generally where you would exercise your rights on Reddit. So yeah, that's the Reddit privacy policy. Hope that you found this helpful.